When we opened our doors in February of 1987 to 15 young people from the streets of San Francisco, we had no idea that it would become the world-renowned program it is today. Back then, something seemed to be happening every day. The drugs, the gangs, the turf, the funerals. We had had enough of it, and we knew that something had to be done, and that something was this thing we call Omega. I was a public school teacher back then, and the violence has spilled over into my own classroom. I remember one young man in particular who was killed in a turf war between two neighborhoods. He was in my math class one day, and dead the next. I couldn't even go to his funeral. I was too much in shock. Unfortunately, he wasn't the last one I got horror stories about. I only had the kids for a few hours a day. The streets had them, the rest, I needed more time with them. So on February 26, 1987, Omega opened its doors to my students and their friends. Jack Jacqua, my co-founder, and I weren't even sure they would show up. But they came and they stayed, and then more came and more stayed. Alive and free, and educated became their motto. Beating the streets became their goal. But could we, and they, really do it? 25 years later, the answer is a resounding yes.
My name is Sierra Jones. I graduated from Morgan State University with a Bachelor of Science in Biology. First and foremost, I would like to thank Omega for everything that they've done for me, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here today.
I was hanging with the wrong group, Richmond, California, and Omega showed me that the world is bigger than Richmond. And you're bigger, never let your situation dictate your behavior. That's one thing I got, because there's a lot of things I could have done. Like the friends I hung with, and they're still my friends today, but it's from a longer distance. I could have been in prison, I could have been dead, I could have been anywhere. Tennessee State, it was a beautiful experience. I brought 4 of my friends from Richmond out there to attend with me, and it was just wonderful. Because out here, I be in fear of my life sometimes. Like a lot of things that I don't go out here. I'm really a homebody once I'm home. But out in Tennessee, I kind of spread my wings and did a lot of things I wouldn't have did if I was home.
My name is Lydia Blanco, and in 2012, graduated Benefactor College for Women in Greensboro, North Carolina, from where I received my bachelor's arts degree in journalism and media studies with a concentration in broadcast journalism. I remember listening to Omega collegiate scholars at the time about their stories and their trials and tribulations about being away from home, and I was mesmerized, enthusiastically waiting for my time to leave and prepare for college life. I left San Francisco in 2008 to North Carolina, and today I am thankful to share my experiences with the next Omega. Prior to my commitment of declaring journalism as my major, my passion to tell the entire truth of social injustices in my neighborhood and all over the world inspired me to write. To Dr. Marshall and the Omega Boys Club, thank you for your high expectations and always believing in me. To the next Omega, find your purpose and do everything with your purpose, and you will soon learn that passion outweighs recognition.
They didn't get to pass. They didn't get to play, and they hated when they couldn't play. And they wouldn't talk, but they had to talk. And you have made me so proud. See, I'm kind of choked up. I'm just so proud of you. Let's give them another round.
So don't be discouraged if you think you're working hard and no one is paying attention, because that's not true. There's always somebody watching, particularly in this day and age with social media. So be on your best behavior, because we don't want to see nothing bad. I don't want to see San Franciscans misbehaving. But although the media doesn't show up and the media tries to paint our communities in a certain way, with a certain narrative of hatred, savagery, bigotry, ignorance, we know that that is not our destiny. We know that that is not from which we come from. And we know that we are destined for greatness. You saw it right here on the stage. You saw it for the last 25 years. So really my message is very simple. It's to give you a message of hope and to bring you a message of peace and to remind you that we all have a purpose in this life. It may not be clear now, but as you continue to grow and to open yourself up and you continue to mature, it will manifest. But you must stay strong and you must stay educated and you must stay free.
My name is Patrice Kirk. I attend Job Corps, the Advanced Culinary Program, with aspirations of going to Cal State East Bay and getting my bachelor's in hospitality and tourism management. And I was brought to Omega by Mr. Eastman, and just a will to a better life, more uplifting, positive, mentoring type of individuals in my life to guide me and make sure I stay on track. I was homeless before I left Chicago and started the Job Corps program from there, and from there it's just been uplifting. Since I started the Omega program in January, just January alone, I was $20,000 in debt, and with the help of Don and Miss Demetra, I'm now down to $13,000. So I've just been on it, working, saving. I've made as many adjustments needed for my casual life as far as friends, family. What I have, I give to them. What I hear, I try to model it the best way I can for everyone that I come in contact with, because you're always being watched. So that's what I take away from this experience, and I'm happy and I'm grateful. Thank you.
My name is Tanisha, and I started Omega in August. It was my first time coming to Omega. And when I first got to Omega, my mother passed away, so I instantly stopped going to Omega. And I left, and I was just pretty much getting myself together, and I just kind of gave up a little bit. So I had some encouragement, and I finally came back. I came back in about, I think October, I finally came back, and it was hard. It was very hard. I was not into the class. I just had so much going on. I was just discombobulated. I was not interested. And once we start getting more in depth and just about different things, about challenges you will face in life, I kind of start grasping it and just kind of start reflecting on my life and what I was going through at the time. So it pretty much taught me a lot. It rebuilt me again, and it prepared me, because when I came, I was lost. I was very lost. I just was kind of like, still trying to find myself. And Omega helped me find it. I pretty much found myself coming to Omega, and I'm just thankful for this opportunity, because like they teach you, opportunity doesn't come all the time. And when it comes, you need to take advantage of it, and you just have to stay ready. And I'm just very thankful just to be here and just to be given this opportunity. And I just want to say thank you to Omega, Miss Demetra, Don, Miss Estelle, and Dr. Marshall.
I was once that boy that was always sent to the back of the class. My mother was called every day. None of the teachers took the time out to figure out, what can I do to help? He can't be a bad kid. Nobody ever took that time to hear my story or where I came from. So I now have a heart for those who are going through the same thing. I want to get involved. Why is this happening? Is there something that we can do to change it? And that's what I plan on doing with my major in political science. I can honestly, say thank you for, Ms. Demetra, Mr. Don, Ms. Estelle, Dr. Marshall, for just being those people that took the time to listen to me, to try to figure me out, to help me figure myself out, just to push me, because I definitely needed that. Nobody, like I said before, nobody took the time out to help me. So I just really appreciate you guys for helping me, for believing in me. I love you, Mom. I love you, Grandma. And I'm just really excited to start this new chapter in my life. Thank you.
I must thank Dr. Marshall, Jacqua, Miss Estelle. Thank you so much for having a vision and painting it and making it plain and simple for us and teaching it to our young people. Thank you. For people will perish if there is no vision.